Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and the return of my MotoGP 18 career mode. This time we have the 2019 season mod, and I'm looking forward to this, guys. One more season 4 of career mode on this game, and we're doing it with the 2019 bikes pretty much. There are a few bikes which are still 2018 and need to be updated. Hopefully that will happen as the season progresses, but for now we are going to have most of the 2019 bikes on the grid, including the one that I'll be riding, the Tech 3 KTM, aka the satellite KTM team for this season. Now, if you guys did not remember, from last season, I put a clip at the start of the video. We actually ended the season with Aprilia, and we signed for Tech 3. Of course, back then they were with Yamaha, and since then, over the winter, some time has progressed and things have changed. And since then, it was announced that the Tech 3 would actually switch to KTM machinery for the 2019 season. That's exactly what I've done. I waited a little while to wait for a mod to become available, and finally, we can now race with this 2019 season mod, and we are racing for the Tech 3 KTM team. And I'm looking forward to it, guys. Hopefully, you guys are too. And we're going to do a full 19 race season, and I'm looking forward to getting straight into it and seeing how the season progresses. Straight away, you can see the objectives in the bottom right, and they're pretty respectable, except for the championship position, which wants us to get 8th place, which is quite tricky considering the bike that we are on. But I'm going to try my absolute best. We also know how, the AI aren't the strongest in this game, and you can definitely punch above your weight in terms of how you perform in this game. Now, in terms of some actual details, let's get into it. So first of all, we're going into next weekend, and the first race of Season 4 is obviously going to be Qatar. Now, first of all, race options. You can see we're going to go for a 35% race. If you guys want to see me do 50%, let me know in the comments down below, but I'm going to start things off with 35. Also, we're going to do a full weekend, so, practice, qualifying, in this case, Q1, Q2, and the race, of course. Then difficulty, of course, on the highest, and then realistic bike damage, tyre wear on, manual starts on as well. So, hope you guys do look forward to that. And finally, the riding aids, everything is off, and as you can see there, manual gears, racing line off, auto tucking on, and yeah, pretty much the full works here for this career mode. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Now I'm going to jump into qualifying, or should I say practice actually, and I'm going to see if I can actually first of all do the practice programs, and then secondly do a lap time that's fast enough for Q2. If not, you will see me in Q1 very soon. But for now, let's jump into practice and let's see how this new KTM machine gets underway in Qatar. Okay, so currently in FP1, we have finished the R&D. We've done all of the tests, so that's job done there. And if we're now going to look at the test results, you can see we scored pretty much the best possible score. So all things are looking pretty good there. And in terms of lap time and results so far, we are currently P1. I think the AI are yet to set their real true lap times. But a 150.001 is where we're up at the minute. I'm going to pretty much now see how the session goes. I might skip it to FP2, and if I need to improve, I'll try and improve. But I think that lap should already be okay for Q2, in my opinion. So let's see what happens, and let's see where we feed in amongst the pack. So come the end of the session, we did actually go top, as you can see. So there's no need to go much faster. I'm going to skip to FP2 and see how things progress in that session. But I think we should be good for a Q2 spot automatically here with that kind of lap time. I do want to talk about the assists. Now, I've got traction control on full, engine braking on full. I could change it, but I remember from my last time playing the game, for some reason, at every session it always resets itself. So I'm not really going to bother. I'll just rather just run it on full and try and adapt my riding style to the assists pretty much. And that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm going to set a lap here in FP2 to see exactly where the pace is. Marco is currently fastest, and to be fair, he's much slower than FP1, so I think we should be okay here. I'm going to try and set a lap nonetheless, and see if we can set a decent benchmark, and maybe get into the 149s and get our lap time down a bit. So let's stay on board here, hopefully, and see if this is a good enough lap. So I'm only going to set this lap and see if it's good enough to lower the benchmark, and if not, we'll skip straight to qualifying. Qatar shouldn't get in the way, that should be okay. So let's try and finish this lap if we can. It's been a pretty strong lap actually. I think I should be on target. I've run a bit deep into the final corner there, but luckily We'll bring it back underneath for a good late apex, and we're going to get a lovely toe off of Qatar here on the entire straight on the Yamaha satellite team across the line. Do we improve? Yes, we do. A 49.4, and that's more like it. That's a respectable lap time right there. Dare I say, that could be a pole position lap time already, so that's going to be the end of practice now. We're going to jump straight into qualifying, where I presumably should be straight into Q2. So there you go then, after FP2. Funnily enough, it's the riders pretty much who were faster in FP1. I'm quite surprised, to be honest. And the track conditions are more optimal in FP2, so we were the only ones to set a faster lap, and to be fair, it was a really good lap in fairness, and you would have seen it in full. But nonetheless, you can see in white who's got through into Q2, and we are in amongst them. As you can see, Valentino Rossi there misses out. Rossi actually set a faster lap in FP2, surprisingly, but Valentino does miss out after not setting the pace in FP1. Then also further down, let's see if there's any more shocks here. Looks like no one really. Morbidelli disappointing there in the Petronas Yamaha, and pretty much Rins as well maybe, but other than that there's not really many more surprises, and to be honest it's a pretty straightforward session. Jan Zarco there, good result, P8 on the factory KTM. But with that being said, let's move to qualifying and let's see where we go on the grid. Right, here we are then, it's Q2 time, and the conditions are upon us. You can see they're pretty stable conditions, no real strong winds, and I'm going to see what we have in the tank. I don't think I've got a 48 in me. I think a low 49 is the best I can do, so there's not much more in the tank. I'm also not going to get that really nice toe I got on the pit straight from Quartararo, so we're going to see how it goes, and also let's see if the big boys truly have some decent pace, or were they sandbagging in practice. Let's get into it. Right, then that's the end of my first run in Q2. 51.5 is the benchmark. We should be pretty on course to beat that across the line. There's a 48, there's a 49, and it's a 50-0. I think it's going to be quite hard to beat that lap I did in practice, to be honest. That was a very good lap. I was surprised how good it was. I'm going to keep circulating here for a couple more laps, see if I can lower my own benchmark a little bit as we start to tick towards the critical time in qualifying here, where I'm expecting to see the AI step up the pace a bit. A bit wide there, but we still managed to keep it under control. Let's see if we can have a strong end to the lap on the power. Nice and early here. 3 fastest sectors, although it was only up by 19 thousandths in sector 3. Can we improve some more up to the line? It's looking like it. Yes, we do. We just creeped to the 149s. Decent lap there. We're going to come back to the pit lane now and give it a few minutes and then go back out for one final run, I think. Couple of better benchmarks have been set. You can see there, Dovi's just gone P3 as I speak, and Maverick's now down to a 50.2. So the AI are finding a little bit of pace here as we reach crunch time. Will the AI get into the 49s? I guess we'll find out. But so far, we're looking good here for a pole position. I think there's a little bit more time in the tank. There's definitely not as much pace as practice. For some reason, I don't have the same amount of grip. I'm not as fast. And like I said, that toe I got on the pit straight definitely helped me out. So let's see if we have anything else left to give. But I'm going to go out with about 3-ish minutes to spare, maybe 3.5. Basically enough time for 2 runs, hopefully 2 laps. So yeah, let's skip on to our final runs in the session and see if we can improve. Okay, it's been a fantastic lap so far. Absolutely perfection. And we are going to hit Rins right at the perfect spot to get, once again, a perfect toe on the pit straight. Here we go. We're a little bit closer this time, so even better. We're going to get a much nicer toe. Here we go on the Suzuki. We're going to pull to the right-hand side, up to the line, and it's a 49.0, and that is it. All she wrote right there. What a lap that was. We got the toe absolutely beautifully there out the final corner, and that's what I'm talking about. That's got to be pole position 100%. I'll be shocked if that gets beaten. There we go then. We get pole position in the first race of the season here at Qatar, and it wasn't even close. 1.2 seconds clear of Maverick Vinales with an absolutely special lap in Q2 there. Really strong lap from us, and I cannot complain about that. The KTM was working beautifully, and we really had the pace. Marc Marquez, for me, was a shock of the session. He did not have the pace on the Honda there to really compete, and it's Maverick Vinales who got second place, and Dovi running off the third row. Valentino Rossi, who missed out on Q1, if you remember, sorry, into automatic Q2, he had to go through Q1 and still ended up P4, so good recovery from the doctor there, and then both of the Suzukis pretty strong in 5th and 6th there, so good job from them. But all in all, that is going to be it, guys, for qualifying, and we're now going to move into the first race of Season 4 of my MotoGP career mode. Can we convert this pole into a win? Let's find out.
The cameras are accompanying us on a tour of their favourite riders for today's MotoGP race. We can't make predictions, but judging from the extremely competitive qualifying sessions, we're sure we're going to see a fantastic show.
Right, it is indeed going to be a fantastic show. First race of the season here at Qatar. Let's get the bike settings sorted out, and here we are. Let's get some tyres on real quick. We're going to go for a medium front and a hard rear, because I do like to lean in my rear tyres around here, and we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that will give us a bit more, you know, be able to push a little bit more, and we're going to see how it goes. It is now time for round 1 here at Qatar. Let's get into it and let's see how the race goes. Right, here we go. Lights are on. Let's try and have a good start here. My starts ain't great. The lights are on, and now they are off. And away we go for Qatar. Not too bad. We bogged down a little bit in the second phase there. My gear shift, the third gear was a bit slow. And it looks like the Yamahas have had an absolutely appalling start, as have I. And the Honda, I think, is that Marc Marquez? If it is, then he's had an absolutely ridiculous start. We've got the Yamahas there trying to get past. Valentino Rossi's had a shocker along with Maverick Vinales. Dovi getting the whole shot. A little bit of contact there midway through that right-hander. We managed to stay on the bike and keep her upright. Around the outside here, it's a long way to go, but I'm going to go for it, and I've pulled it off. But what a start from Marc Marquez that was. Wow, incredible. Marquez was fastest in the warm-up, and he seems to have found a bit of pace on the LCR Honda, or should I say just the normal HRC Honda, sorry. And he's looking good. Definitely found a lot of pace in the warm-up, and Dovi's got the start as you'd expect to in the Ducati. Suzuki's looking strong as well, but we're not out of this just yet. P5, we've had a decent recovery to see how poor our start was. Even though it wasn't terrible, we just had the outside line through turn 1, and that's where you don't want to be. A little bit hot into there though. I'm going to have to pull her back up. Valentino Rossi there making progress as well on the Yamaha. Now P6 behind me. Let's try and stay in front of the Doctor, the 9-time world champion, if we can. I'm quite good through here. These are my strongest corners on the circuit, I believe, compared to the AI. I seem to carry a lot more speed than they do. Down the inside of Rins, I thought about it. A little bit of contact, but we couldn't quite commit to the overtake. I'm going to try and be patient here and not be so erratic into overtakes. And hopefully make them a bit more, you know, think about my overtakes a lot more and try and be a lot more thought out, not rush into things, you know, cause an incident or whatever. At the final corner then. Good exit. Valentino Rossi tried to go down the inside there, but no way through. We get a good exit instead. We're going to get the run on Alex Rins, and it's a drag race, and the KTM is able to keep up, but then the Suzuki starts to power back. Good thing is I'm good on the brake into turn 1 here, so I'm able to bring it down to the apex. There we go. So P4 now. Okay, Marquez there gets a poor exit. That's allowed Rins, or should I say Mir, to get past. Good stuff from us so far though, to say we're on the harder rubber. You know, patience required. We will come into this race later on as it progresses. especially towards the end. Once their rubber starts to wear out, we get a great run through there, really getting the bike turned over beautifully. And we're just sitting behind Marquez and Mir, just trying to study their lines at the minute. Dovi's having a fantastic race. He's absolutely running away with it out the front. So I want to try and get some moves done here. We've only got a few laps. I say only got a few laps to go, but I mean, it's not a full distance race, so we don't have endless laps to make the moves. So we need to try and make some progress here sooner rather than later. Marquez and Mir there, very, very poor. I'm going to go down the inside of Marquez though. A little bit of contact. Marquez goes around the outside, and it's a great move from Marquez there to hold on to the position. Into the final corner though, I'm going to try and go wide and try and swing it back underneath Marquez and Mir. Side by side, we get a good exit. Power down, we're going to get a beautiful toe down the entire pit straight here on these guys. They're side by side, so no one's really benefiting, although Marquez in the Honda really squatting it on as Dovi sets a 50.3, and that's pretty much qualifying pace. That's his qualifying lap, so Dovi absolutely going for it here. Okay, I want to try and get a move done here soon because Marquez and Mir are losing a lot of time, and Vinales is now behind me, so he's starting to make progress here. I'm going to try and set up a switchback. Vinales almost went down the inside there. Very cheeky move there from Maverick. I'm going to run a bit wide though. That's going to allow Vinales down the inside. I kind of got offline there. Put off a little bit by the change of direction from me. I'm going to switch back underneath Vinales here and squirt on the KTM. And we get back past straight away. I'm not letting Vinales take the position that easily. And now Mir and Marquez. This is one quite strong through this next right. If I can just get the momentum. Vinales again hit me there. Trying to go down the inside a bit desperately, but no way through. Mir and Marquez still going at it, and Dovi really opening up the gap out front here. Good run though, into the final corner. I'm going to have a look down the inside of Mir and Marquez, the pair of them. Power down, a little bit more contact with Marquez, but we do get the positions. Although now it's a drag race, and look at the Honda go. Marquez squirting on that Honda, and Mir tried to come back at speed. He kind of got boxed in. Late on the brakes. I am late, but Marquez is the master of the late breakers, but we do manage to pull it off. We just managed to slow it down and bring it down for the apex. And we are ahead. We run a bit wide though through turn 2. That's going to allow Marquez back through. Can we swing back underneath? Yes, we do. We carry the speed around the outside. That's what I'm talking about right there. Great racing, but we do get past Marquez now. Can we stay ahead and start to build towards Dovi? Obviously, those guys on softs are going to start struggling on their tyres a little bit now. As mine come into the sweet spot, a bit deep into the hairpin. Then let's try and stay in front and not lose any ground. There we go. Right, job done. Now we need to set a couple of strong laps here and try and chase after the man in red in the Ducati. Let's get after Dovi if we can. Very strong lap there. We've opened up a nice gap behind, and we've done the equivalent for Marquez. We've pulled the pin, as you would say, as we set a fast lap of the Grand Prix at 1 minute 50.2. Tyres coming into the sweet spot, and we're going to start to close down Dovi here. Let's try and win this race. I can definitely smell a win, but Dovi's got a strong pace. He's done a good job of opening up a gap that big. We've got 3 laps to go. Can we catch up to the 0-4 machine? Let's find out. I'm riding superbly at the minute. The bike is really working well now in the race. Now that we've got no distractions with the AI trying to constantly lunge into me at every corner, I'm able to really spread my wings, and the KTM is working fantastically well. And you can visibly see how much closer we are to Dovi now. 2 laps to go next time we cross the line. Let's see if this lap is an improvement on the last one. And it's 2 fast laps in a row. It felt pretty good. Will it be enough? I don't think it is going to be, but it's still going to be competitive. And it's only a 10th shy, so we're still keeping a strong pace. But we need to maybe step into the 49s if we really want to close the gap to Dovi this lap. So I need to get my head down and try and push harder if I can. But I'll say Dovi is still hanging on there. He's got good pace. He's going to try and win this race, as we almost have a high side there, pushing the rears a little bit too hard, and that might just cost me enough time to not win the race. I was on for a pretty strong lap there once again, but that little mistake cost me dearly, and into the higher 50s we go. Last lap of the Grand Prix. All or nothing. Do we try and get Dovi, or do we secure the 2nd place? I think I'm leaning towards the latter, to be honest, but I'm going to push on for the first half of the lap and see if we can make something happen. I'm getting close. I'm trying so hard here to get near to Dovi. This is an incredible lap. I've managed to pull out the bag on the worn tyres, but every corner I can feel the bike is about to let go on the tyres. But I won't give up. I'm trying so hard. Come on, a couple more corners to go. Final sector now, pretty much. It's do or die. Let's try and stay within range of the Ducati. Come on, the final corner, we can do this. It's all going to come down to the final brake zone. I can't quite do the Marquez and go under the brakes, but I can get on the power early. Come on. It's against the Ducati. I don't really stand much of a chance when it comes to straight line speed battles. And Dovi's going to hold on. He's going to win the opener. We do manage to set a 49 on the last lap of the Grand Prix, but Dovi wins in Qatar. We get P2. Oh man, what a race that was. We tried so hard there. That last lap was fantastic, but it still wasn't enough. And Dovi wins the opener in Qatar. Let's take a look at the final race results.
Here we are for the podium ceremony. It's a weekend where everyone gave their all. But today, these riders have shown that they had a little bit extra in the locker. The crowd is going wild, and finally, they can enjoy this deserved moment of glory.
There we have it then, the results are in and Dovi wins, and to be fair play to him, good credit. You know, if you look at the best lap, he was by far quicker than anybody else, and he really stepped up on race day and had some strong pace. Both of the Yamahas look strong as well. Vinales third, Rossi fourth, and Marquez in the end with a strong warm-up session managed to salvage a weekend and get P5, which isn't, you know, great for him, but it's still better than where he qualified. And then we've got Mir, Petrucci, Lorenzo 8th, Rins, Zarco, Miller, Iannone, Crutchlow, Bagnaia, and Polispargo rounding off the final point positions. And then in terms of my teammate, Oliveira P16 just misses out on points, and Siren down in P20. And rounding up the rear is Morbidelli, who had a pretty poor race there, to be fair, on the Petronas Yamaha there. But all in all, there you have it then. There's the race results, and race 1 is in the books, guys. And hopefully you did enjoy it. And we're not going to do any upgrades because I feel like the competitiveness is pretty good at the minute, and I quite like where we are. So I'm going to save the R&D points, and we'll invest those later on when we feel like we're starting to lose some ground in the performance chart. But for now, hopefully you guys did enjoy race 1 of season 4 of Crewman. If you did enjoy it, then please do drop a like on the video, and also get subscribed if you are new to the channel for daily Formula 1 and also MotoGP content. Turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me, and finally check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.